If you are so serious about making money, this is the channel for you.
Hello and welcome in this lecture, which is going to be a tutorial about ChatGPT. So let's go and explore ChatGPT. So ChatGPT is a chatbot. What you have to know about it is that it's a static chatbot, which means that its knowledge is fixed at a specific level. So when ChatGPT first came out, the knowledge was fixed at around January 2021. Right now, after 1 year of it being alive, it has been updated to knowledge of March 2023 or April 2023. I can't know precisely the number, but it's in between. And when I say its knowledge is fixed at that moment, it means that if you ask ChatGPT any information which is more advanced than March 23 and April 23, it will probably not give you the answer you're looking for. But there is a workaround. There are a lot of things you have to know about ChatGPT. Is that first of all, the version I talked about is GPT 3.5. So if you're using GPT 3.5, number one, you can only message ChatGPT via text. So you cannot add images. You cannot add anything else. You cannot add files. You cannot add anything. It can only process text. So I can say something like hi, and it will interact with me. Obviously, I'm much more advanced than that when it comes to using ChatGPT. So I'm a master ChatGPT user. But this is one conversation starter. And this is the only thing you can do with GPT 3.5. Now, there's the other version of ChatGPT, which is the premium version. It's called ChatGPT Plus, and you have to pay for it to get it. But there is a huge difference between GPT 3.5 and GPT 4. Number one, GPT 3.5 is only free to use for a specific amount of time. So if you use it usually for more than an hour, they'll tell you to leave the platform and then come back. But still, that is a blessing because you can still use it for free. GPT 4 has multiple other advantages. GPT 3.5 is fixed. The knowledge of it is fixed. So it doesn't know what happened yesterday or what happened recently. GPT 4, basically when it first came out, it did not have this capacity. But right now, GPT 4 can browse the web, which makes it a dynamic chatbot because it can browse the web with Bing, which means that you can ask it questions about things that are happening in the recent times, and it will give you an answer. Now, why browsing with Bing and not browsing with Google is simply because the other competitor of ChatGPT is Google Bard, and Google Bard, which basically is now Gemini AI, Gemini is integrated inside of Google Bard. Google Bard basically is a dynamic model, and they're using Google directly to get their results. Plus, they have verification for the results that they give you. So they tell you where they got the results precisely, the links where they got the results. Now, GPT-4, of course, has also integrated this, except for browsing is done through Bing, not Google, because Google is the competitor of OpenAI, right? Now, GPT-4 has one of the best options, which is to generate images using DALL3. So if I click right here on GPT-4, I can generate an image. So I can ask it, generate. So let's let this be our prompt. Generate a logo for a fishing brand that sells fish supply to fishermen for my Shopify store. And the name of the brand is Fishers with two Z's. Now, of course, you have to understand that you have to check a name for a brand. This is all hypothetical because Fishers might be a trademark name, so you might not be allowed to use it. But just for the sake of the example, I'm showing you now the capacity of ChatGPT-4 to generate images, to create images. So right now, GPT-4 is creating the image for us. And as you can see, this is the logo, Fishers, and it really looks awesome, doesn't it? And this is the logo. We got ourselves a logo for our Shopify store. Right now, we can only go ahead and remove the background from this logo and it can be used for a store. As you can see, it's tremendous. Of course, make sure you check the name. Now, there's another feature to ChatGPT that you have to be aware of, which is advanced data analytics and plugins. But first, before we go there, I would like to also tell you that ChatGPT can process files. Well, this is ChatGPT 4, not 3.5. So ChatGPT 4 can process files, meaning you can click on this button right here and you can upload a file. Let's say you upload maybe not, it can also process videos, but let's say, for example, I add a book, which is one of my books. So I'm going to add this book that I have created, and I'm going to say to ChatGPT to basically go through that book and to create a summary of what the book is about. So I will say create. Now, of course, the book is still being added. So as you can see, it's still not completely added here, but I'm going to say create a summary of the PDF book attached. Now, as you can see right there, there is some trouble in uploading the book. So I'm just going to go ahead and try it again. I'm going to click again and go find another book maybe that I can use. So let me just scroll down. 59 Chat. Now, this book is quite huge. So let me just go ahead, for instance, for this one instead. This should be pretty easy relatively to upload. And so this is a 226 ChatGPT prompts book. So right now, if I hit enter, notice that it's going to read the document. So it's reading the document and it's going to provide us with a summary of the document. So this is how powerful artificial intelligence has came. And as you can see right now, it has given me the summary. It's still writing it. Now, of course, it has finished writing. And if you want to edit your prompt, you can always click on edit the prompt right here. And you can change. Instead of create a summary for the book, you can say create a 10 bullet summary. Create a 10 bullets summary. And you can save and submit. And right now it will restart. Now you can also process images. You can upload images and process them. So if you have a logo in mind, you can download an image of that logo and have it design a sketch that looks a little bit like it. Of course, like I said, stay away from trademark and copyright, but you can take inspiration from other people's work. That's something you can do. Now, while ChatGPT 4 is great and all, except for it is limited to 40 messages every 3 hours, which means that you can only send 40 prompts every 3 hours. So if you send 40 messages in 3 hours, they're going to tell you to go and maybe take a cup of coffee and come back and it resets, right? So that's also something to put in mind. Advanced data analysis is more for people that are interested in data analytics. Now, I'm not a data analytics guy, though I'm an engineer, but I really don't like it. But if you would like to use this feature, it is already plugged into ChatGPT 4. So you only need to give some prompts to trigger that tool and it will be used. Now, plugins are usually not activated by default. You'll have to activate them. But if you have GPT-4, you have plugins by default. So you can just click on your name right here and you click on settings and beta, and that will take you to the settings and beta. You can click on beta features and you can activate plugins. As easy as that. So as you can see, this is quite interesting. So now plugins are activated, and plugins are, by the way, a smart way for companies to plug themselves into ChatGPT because ChatGPT gets somewhat of 100 million visitors every single day to the platform. So if you click on ChatGPT plugins here, I have a lot of plugins that I have installed. You can recognize some of them, like Canva, which links my ChatGPT directly to Canva. So I can ask ChatGPT to send me to a link to a Canva template. I just have to activate the plugin by clicking on it. And I can write a prompt here that says, I want you to link me with a particular template that I want to use. And I just have to explain to it that, and it will immediately link me there. There's a lot of plugins as well. We're not going to go through the details of all the plugins because this course is about creating digital products. But you can go to the plugin store right here and explore all of the plugins that are on the plugin store. There's obviously a tremendous amount of plugins that can help make your life extremely easy. And in the plugin store, the good thing is that they show you the plugins that are most popular. So, and there's only about, I think, maybe 3 rows. So there's not a lot of plugins that are recommended by ChatGPT themselves. But if you want to know all the plugins that exist, you can click on all, and this will show you all the plugins that exist. There's 130 pages. Every page contains 8 plugins. So basically at this point, there's about 1,500 plugins. Of course, ChatGPT monitors how many plugins are on their platform. Now, right now, this takes us to another topic, which is another great thing about GPT-4, is that you have access to GPTs. So I personally have created many GPTs that are extremely useful. And if you go to the store, to the GPT store, and search for these GPTs, you'll find me ranked pretty well. So for example, I created a GPT. First of all, if you want to access GPTs, you have to click here on Explore GPTs. This will take you to the GPTs. And these are some featured GPTs, right? So, and GPTs are basically small applications. So let's say, for example, you want to create a logo. You don't really want to spend the time every time to explain to ChatGPT that you want to create a logo. You can use a GPT that creates logos. And you can click on that particular GPT and it will help you create logos, right? You just have to explain to it what kind of logo you want to design and it will create it. Now, of course, DALL3 can do this, but this is in case you don't want to use DALL3 directly and you want to use a custom designed GPT for that, right? Now, my GPT is here. If I look for AI detector, I'm pretty sure, actually, let me look for AI detector like this. I'm pretty sure I can find them or I would be surprised. Now, if I go to more rows, we have AI detector. Yes. So if I look for AI detector, there's this. Right. I was ranked for quite a long time, but right now it seems that some people have overranked me. AI detector instead. Right. There's my I would say my GPT AI detector that I have personally created. And so some people have copied me. They have created their own GPTs as well. But I've personally also created a GPT. Now, of course, I'm not going to go into the details of the details, but GPTs, consider it this way, are like apps, right? Apps, except for they're mini chat GPTs, and every chat GPT or every GPT is specialized in certain things. So certain GPTs are specialized in writing SEO content. Certain GPTs are going to help you create PowerPoint slides. Certain GPTs are Canva. So even Canva created their own GPT. Certain GPTs can help you with code, like Grimoire, for example. And so there's a bunch of GPTs that exist. Now, this was a pretty enough introduction for you when it comes to ChatGPT. You don't really need to go into the details of the details because I'll walk you through most of the things that we're going to do in this course. But basically right now, it's time to go and explore one other tool that we're going to rely heavily on through this course, which is Leonardo AI, which is a free image generation tool. And it's only free to a degree, so you only have a certain limit of images that you can generate every day for free, but it's still for free. So compared to some other tools such as Midjourney, which is not for free, which you have to pay for. Now, of course, Leonardo also have a paid version for which you can have a lot of credits, like myself, but you can still use it for free for the free version. Stay tuned for it, and I'll see you in the next lecture.